we're in the final hours of the most cowardly person ever to occupy the presidency. And one of the things that always strikes me about Dr. King is his stunning bravery. He knew every minute how much danger he was in. He couldn't get on an airplane without the pilot telling him, oh, by the way, don't worry, we've checked for bombs and we had the plane watched all night. This was around him constantly, and the bravery it took for him just to get through his typical day.
Right, and you can we see this from as early as Stride Towards Freedom, his first book, when he's at the kitchen table, as he's receiving these phone calls, and he's at his wit's end because people are threatening not only his life, but the life of his family and his children. We see this in the end when he's suffering deep depression, when he knows that his life is in jeopardy. He knows that any minute now a bullet will strike him down, yet he still bears witness. And this is the really key point. When we celebrate him, we often pull him out of the specifics of his history so that we can avoid looking the ugliness of who we are squarely in the face. We make him the happy, nonviolent saint, and we don't deal with what he was calling us to be in his last days, what he was confronting in his last days, what he was talking about in terms of labor, what he was talking about in terms of militarism, what he was talking about in terms of an economy that presupposed the disposability of a whole group of people. King was pushing us to imagine ourselves in much more expansive terms, and he risked his life daily to do so. Right. But, today we often make him a Santa Claus as opposed to understanding what he convicted us, how he convicted us, and what he called us to do and what he called us to be.
And he did it with example. He did it with personal example. He was out there at the front, on the front line, everywhere there was a front line in the movement.
Indeed, indeed. He called us to be the democracy that we aspire to be. And it seems to me, Lawrence, in this moment, of all the years that we've celebrated the life of Dr. Martin Luther King, this year, maybe, just maybe, we will leave behind the ideas that in some ways have choked the life out of American democracy over the last 40 years. Perhaps we can step into a different way of being, to actually step into the promised land or begin to make strides towards that. But first, it will require of us to confront our ghastly failures, to tell the truth about who we are.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.